here's before and here's after. So here's a side-by-side shot. So here's all the steps, the material, the costs, and all the work involved to seal and reseal your driveway by yourself. So if I were you and I were the one watching this video, I would want the person to tell me all the important information right up front. So that's what I'm gonna do. So my driveway is roughly 4,000 square feet, and I'll show you how I measure that using Google Maps. There's a measurement tool and you can get the length and width of your driveway. I bought my sealer from Menards, and the reason I did that was because I bought 53-gallon barrels. Do not buy the 53-gallon barrels, just buy 5-gallon buckets. It's not that much more of a cost to buy them in 5-gallon buckets. Yeah, you are spending a little bit more, but it's a lot easier to transport, it's a lot easier to carry. You can load it up in a car or a van. With the big barrels, you need a truck and somebody to help unload it, and it was a big hassle. So the sealers you can buy can range in quality from a 1-year warranty to a 10-year warranty. The only other tools you need other than the sealer is a squeegee and a brush on a pole. But if this is your first time doing it, you're working by yourself, your driveway is 2,000 square feet, it should take you around 3 hours. Take a leaf blower, or even better, a power washer, and go over the whole driveway, maybe the day before, making sure you're getting all the dirt and dust and pollen and seeds and anything off the driveway, because you want a good clean surface for that seal coat to attach to. Otherwise, it might peel up. The next important thing is, are you going to buy a 5-gallon bucket or a 53-gallon barrel? Depending on how big your driveway is, I would think most people would get along with buying several 5-gallon buckets. Buy 5 at a time, 10 at a time, and drive them home. If you're going to get a 53-gallon drum, option 1 is delivery, option 2 is you better have a truck. Now the big question is, what asphalt seal coat to buy? The first thing is you want to think about is the thickness of the material and the warranty. So you can buy anywhere from a 1-year warranty to a 10-year warranty, and that deals with the thickness of the seal coat. Now, obviously, if you're buying a bigger quantity, you're going to get a better rate, but that's a big problem carrying around a 400-pound, 53-gallon drum of this asphalt. If you don't have a truck, you can't do it. So it's been 3 weeks, and I just got the call from Menards, says the barrels are ready to pick up. And then I realized, how are we going to unload 2 400-pound barrels out of the back of a pickup truck? I think we're going to go with the ramp method. I have some old boards that we're going to use to try to roll it down. But one thing I'm going to use to our advantage is a hill. So we have a bit of a berm right here. So I'm thinking we can back the truck up to this berm. So instead of dropping it down 3 or 4 feet, maybe it's only a 2-foot decline. One 53-gallon drum covers 2,750 to 3,850 square feet for 1 coat. So my driveway is about 4,000 square feet. So having 2 barrels, I'm definitely gonna have enough here, in that I'll be able to do possibly 2 coats, and I'll definitely be able to fill in all these deeper cracks like this. I'll be able to do a dual coat over that and really let it sink in and not be worried about running out of material. You're going to want some good rubber boots or old tennis shoes, because you're going to be walking on this tar and you're going to ruin whatever shoes you have. Right now it's about 65 degrees and overcast. It's going to get up to 75 or 80, which is perfect. 60 to 80 is the right temperature range. Really work it in this crack. And then I'll take the squeegee to do the main part of the drive. Get a little by the edge, and then just zigzag back. So that's where you kind of have to go back and forth to make sure it really gets down into the low areas. So you're covering the edge, but not wasting too much of the sealer. Just like that. Just one smooth final pass, and that'll smooth it all out. And here you can really see the consistency of the 10-year warranty stuff over the cheaper 1-year warranty. It's a lot thicker. It's not like that runny water with the 1-year warranty. This is much thicker, and it really gets into all the cracks and crevices. You can see you could be a lot more precise and get right up to the edge with the brush. So you can see here up close, there's little depressions like that aren't getting filled in. You can see the little gray areas. So those are the areas you really have to work it in, and then the final coat is smoothing everything out. So it's been maybe 20 minutes, and you can see this area is already starting to haze up and solidify where it's nice and thin. You can see here where it's put on thicker, it's still liquid there. So that's about a half an hour, 20 minutes worth of work right there. And before you forget, make sure to put some garbage cans or flagging with sticks at either end. You don't want somebody driving on it while you're working. So again, here you can see where I'm right up against concrete, and I'm trying to do this one-handed, but you can see I'm a lot more precise with the brush, getting right up to that edge. And then just come up, grab some sealer from a pile, get it right on the brush like that, and then just work it in. You do one side and then the other side, and then you can work the middle with the squeegee. So it's been an hour, maybe an hour and a half later, and you can see that this side is almost completely dry, just the thicker areas. However, in the shade, it's staying wet a lot longer, so you have a lot more work time in the shaded areas or if it's overcast, but when it gets sunny, you can see it dries really quickly. So just know that you're going to get covered in this asphalt seal coat even with the gloves on, and your shirt's going to probably get ruined, probably shorts. The rubber boots are a necessity. So it did a really good job of filling in all these smaller cracks. So here's a side-by-side shot. You can see it really filled in a lot. But so here's the driveway now after the second coat, and you can see all these cracks have sealed up a lot better. You can still see a little bit of it, but again, here's that same area. Here's before and here's after. It looks much, much better with that second coat. One thing to note is, even though it looks like it's solid, like here it is on the top, if you put it in areas that are really thick,
it's still goopy underneath. You can still see the stuff coming out underneath. But the rest of the driveway, as you can see right here, it's really solid. You could walk on this everywhere. So this is all really good, really solid. You could almost probably drive on it. But here where I put it on thick, that stuff isn't dry yet. So it's later in the evening, a few hours later, maybe 4 hours, and now here's that one area. It's a lot harder, it's firmed up now. If you put it on thin and it's a hot sunny day, a half an hour, 10 minutes, and it's hardened up. Another thing I did notice is areas where I put it on really thick, like maybe right here, you could see it was smooth when it went on, but as it dried and hardened, it contracted and you get all these cracks in here. It's not a huge deal. I like it still thick on there and it'll work to fill in those cracks, but you can see that everything contracted. I'm really liking this method a lot better of just using the brush in a bucket, going around and doing all the edges. It's a lot cleaner. I'm not having to hurry. I'm not having to switch between the brush and the squeegee. Also, I'm coming through and doing all these cracks at the same time too. Hopefully getting a good first coat on there, really letting that seal coat sink in, harden up, and then I'll come back and do everything with the squeegee. But you can see it's a lot like painting walls inside your house, where you'll use a brush to do all the edges and a roller to do the wall. Here it's the same thing. I'm using a brush to do all the edges and the cracks, and then I'm going to use the squeegee to fill all the main driveway. I think it looks great. Hopefully it lasts for the 10-year warranty, especially since I did 2 coats. I don't want to have to do this again in the near future. Obviously, like I said before, just buy the 5-gallon buckets. Don't buy the big 53-gallon barrels. The savings isn't that huge. It was a big hassle moving those big barrels around. So just buy the 5-gallon buckets. As far as cost, I could have done this for $200 if I bought the 1-year warranty barrels. But I bought the 10-year warranty. I thought that would be a lot easier just doing it once every 10 years instead of doing this every year. But again, remember, the companies that are going to quote you a price are going to quote you for the 1-year warranty. You're going to have to pay extra for the better material. So I paid triple. Instead of $100 for a barrel, I paid $300 a barrel. It took 3 hours to do 2,000 square feet. But I hope this helps. I hope I explained everything in the process. But let me know what you think. Thanks.